Welcome back to another show and tell video. Today we're looking at the LYMAN E-ZEE case length gauge. And this is a tool that can be used for measuring maximum case length. This will be for an unloaded cartridge case in preparation for actually hand loading with the necessary components to turn it into an actual live round or demonstration round, dummy round, however you want to configure it. But this is mainly for getting a quick measurement to make sure that your cartridge, if it has been previously fired, that the casing has not stretched in any way, either through the firing process or through depriming and resizing the neck and possibly drawing and stretching the brass portions of the casing. So if we look closer here, we can see a LYMAN E-ZEE case length gauge, part number, when you're ordering from LYMAN, made in USA. This is quite substantial thickness, so it's not a cheap item or cheaply made. It is still relatively inexpensive because it is just basically printed sheet of metal, but it is precision cut. So you see here they have a metric scale at the bottom just for quick reference, and we flip over. You can see that the measurements continue on both sides. On this edge we have inches. Oops. There you go. And if we look at the top here, we can see cartridge lengths for 7mm Remington SAAMI. And then continuing through here, you can see the various calibers, 32 ACP, continuing on down. I'm not going to read all of them, but feel free to pause for your reference. And you can see that they give enough space so that you can actually put the cartridge in to measure it, the base, because some of the bases of cartridges can be quite large. So they want to give enough clearance, particularly for the larger cases, that you can actually get an accurate measurement. But you can see how it continues on down here. These are actually 4 cuts for the measurements on this side. You can see there's quite a few here. So they actually list the actual dimensions on this side as well for the cartridge length. And we'll get to that in a second. But you can see here a lot of cartridges of different size configurations listed on this site particularly. Contact information, feel free to research current product offerings from LYMAN. You can see here this gauge was machined to maximum case lengths as recommended by SAAMI. For more precise measurement, we suggest use of a LYMAN dial or digital caliper. And that's actually what I use primarily, a fixed caliper, and usually against a standard measured case. I don't know if you've seen my video on my sample cartridge loadings, but I actually have marked on them, however I configure them, whether they're Spitzer ballistic tip, 55 grain, and I do believe I did mark the cartridge overall lengths on these as well. So, for example, this one has an overall length. Yeah, a little bit hard to read there. This one is quite clear, 1.760. And if we look for here's our good example, 223 Remington, same as 5.56 millimeter. and 1.760. If I can get this to focus, there you go. So, and just to test, fingers crossed, I don't fumble this. So again, this being the maximum allowable length of a cartridge, you should have a cartridge that should freely pass through in order to not exceed maximum recommended cartridge length. So you can see here, passes through with not a lot of clearance on either side. And in fact, it can actually hang from its own weight, but drop out. So it's not hung up. This one actually has a cartridge in it. Has a round in there. Those are all dummy rounds. This is another reference round. This is actually 223. This one, I believe, is a Lake City, so 5.56. This one is, I believe, a Remington. So let's go up against 223, 1.76. You can see it's right there, but drops out. So looks like I did a fairly decent job on getting these to 1.76. Let's see if I can show it from this angle. So you basically want to make sure you have a straight alignment to get a pretty decent measurement. So something like try to center the middle of both ends and then make sure it passes through. But two examples of the 1.76 cartridge overall length. And then likewise, say if you had something else, you would find the corresponding reference length and measure it up. And also a few more rounds on this side as well. So this one would be the only one that actually refers to that first one we talked about, 7mm REM SAUM, versus these three on this side. So what's interesting is this has the exact same cartridge length as 7mm 08 or 260 Remington, probably using a similar case length and even the head diameter on the case head as well. But taking a quick look at the E-ZEE case length gauge, labeled on both sides from LYMAN, and that will assist you in measuring maximum cartridge lengths. This has been another show and tell video. Feel free to check out other show and tell videos. We also do unboxing videos as well as a selection of book review, media reviews. Feel free to check all those out. Feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.